You're listening to the Stallion Radio Network.
Welcome to Movie Talk. I like to live dangerously.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
In the face.
And here are your hosts, Brian Seals, Brett Seals, and Vic Vasquez.
What we've got here is a failure to communicate. And on that note, welcome everybody to another edition of Movie Talk. What's going on, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
Same old, same old.
That's good.
We have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about this week.
Yeah, we do.
Marvel, Star Wars. It's all the same. Why don't we get right down to it, shall we?
All right, let's do it. November 5th is today's date. On this day in cinema history, exactly 100 years ago today, 1913, two-time Academy Award winner Vivien Leigh was born on this day in Darjeeling, India. The actress won her 2 Oscars for the 1939 classic Gone with the Wind and the 1951 classic A Streetcar Named Desire. Happy 100th birthday to a 2-time Academy Award winner.
And a damn good movie.
2 very good movies. Yeah, both classics. And also on this day in 1937, Walt Disney's cartoon The Old Mill was released on this day. It was the first cartoon to be produced with a multi-plane camera setup, which is where the camera is suspended high overhead multiple glass panes, each containing independently animated or painted elements, providing an increased sense of depth and movement. It would go on to win an Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. So
Wow.
kind of broke a barrier.
Trying to see, is that the one with Mickey Mouse, the original? Or is that... No, that's Steamboat. Never mind.
Yeah, that Steamboat
Never
Willie.
mind.
The Old Mill, I've never heard of it.
Kind of makes me want to, try to, track that down and watch it.
And finally, on this day, November 5th, 1955, what do you think this could be about?
Remember. The 5th of
1955?
November. No, I know.
November 5th, 1955. In the fictional 1985 classic Back to the Future, Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, arrives from the future.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Of course!
No,
1955!
Why? What happened?
That's the damn bit of time travel.
I thought that was
You actually sounded like him. That you had pretty close.
Yeah, I thought that was worth putting in there. But yeah, that's what happened on this day in cinema history.
Very, very nice, very nice. No deaths. That's a good way to go. Well, also on this day
That's good.
today, we have some DVDs to talk about that are now out at a store near you. 3 of them to talk about. Even though one technically is already out, but it's an extended edition.
Mm.
But we'll get to that last, because that's probably the best DVD out of them all. Grown Ups 2, now out on DVD. I never saw it, so I can't really tell you if it was...
I want to. It looks pretty funny. The first one was
I wanted
alright,
to see it,
but
the first one was good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the first one, but the second one I never got around to seeing it.
One of the few sequels that Adam Sandler has actually done. I don't know why Rob Schneider wasn't in it,
Yeah, I'm still kind of concerned, curious about that too.
but Shaq was in it. Like what? Like,
Yeah, throwing his hands in the air and whipping like he just didn't care.
he didn't care.
Well, also out on DVD is White House Down. Jamie Foxx playing our president, and Channing Tatum saving our president. Heard wasn't very good.
It-
yeah, it was a box.
it
office
wasn't
bomb.
good.
Oh yeah, you did see it, didn't you?
Yeah, the other one, Olympus Has Fallen, was a lot better. But this one, it tried to be like a comedy and like an action film and like a serious film too, and it just wasn't working.
The only thing I remember from the trailer, and I kind of laughed because I thought it was kind of stupid.
Get your hands off my Jordans.
No,
That part?
not that.
Well, that part too.
Well, no, and
Who said
I
that?
remember in the trailer.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I remember in
Yeah,
the trailer,
also.
you Jamie Foxx, our president, was sticking
Our
out of the
president.
sunroof, out of a limousine with a bazooka, and he drops the bazooka.
Yeah, because in real life they'd be doing everything they can to protect the president, and then he's fighting. He's
Yeah.
in combat with the.
And then
bazooka.
he gets down, he's like, I dropped the bazooka, and then he's in an argument with Channing. He's like, how could you drop a bazooka?
Yeah.
It just was not. Yeah, that's out on DVD if you're into that sort of thing.
Just White House invasion movies.
Seriously.
What's with it?
And last but not least, The Hobbit extended edition.
Which we were literally just watching on TV before the show. And
I'm kind of curious to see like what else, like what's on this DVD that's not on the other one.
yeah, Vic said it's probably like from a 3-hour movie to a 7-hour movie. Which
I'm
wouldn't
very
doubt.
curious.
I
I may have to get this just to like see the difference.
I think there was a lot of
Make
like
you very
making
upset.
of.
No, no.
There was like a lot of making
honestly,
of and stuff.
I kind of was expecting this because I mean, freaking, they did it with how many like with Lord of the Rings
All of
with
them.
like how many different editions?
I mean, they like I have the extended editions. I have the
Well, yeah,
theatrical and then
we
the
both,
extended.
we both.
But then they came out with like the where it's all of them together. There's so many different versions of it.
What I'm saying, like honestly, this probably ain't gonna be the last edition
Of course
of The
not.
Hobbit that we will see.
When they all come out, they're gonna have a whole collector's edition pack of the extended.
Yeah, and then like once they're done with The Hobbit, a big edition.
Because each movie took at
almost
least
it.
like 2 days to watch. 'Cause it
See,
was
I'm
2
kinda,
discs.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of curious,
I
like
know.
with the extended editions too. Like once all the Hobbits movies are done and like Lord of the Rings, like with the extended edition, like the whole thing, like how many hours would that be? I'm curious.
How much would it be?
Well, I know it's gonna be like over hundreds of dollars,
It'll
but
be-
I'm more curious about how many hours
Maybe
of like
300.
like footage. Will
You
be
probably,
on the-
you
would be on the
probably couldn't
DVD.
finish all of them in a day.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. You probably wouldn't even be able to finish one. In a
Probably
day.
not. You know Peter Jackson.
Yes.
Very lengthy films.
But
King Kong.
those are the DVD releases. Box office results are in, guys, and
I'm pretty upset. I almost had it.
Did you?
Almost.
I wasn't even close.
no.
I had Ender Game at number 4.
I had a number one. Number one.
I really thought, and technically it was a bomb. They were expecting it to make a lot more than it did. But I had it at number 4 thinking it was going to bomb big time.
See, honestly, like I heard about it, like I read about Ender Game coming out, and like I didn't know anything about it until I think maybe 2.5 weeks before it came out, and it was about somebody named Ender.
Based off a book.
Yeah, like I don't know.
A series of books, actually. They were hoping for a potential franchise.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I might heard it.
Well, at number 10 was Carrie, which made 3.2 million. At number 9 was The Counselor, which made 3.3. At number 8 was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, which made 4.1. At number 7 was 12 Years a Slave, which made 4.7. At number 6 was Captain Phillips, which made 8.4. At number 5 was Gravity, which made 12.8. At number 4 was Freebird, which made 15.8. At number 3 was Las Vegas, which made 16.3. At number 2 was Bad Grandpa, which made 20 million, and at number 1 was Ender's Game, which made 27 million.
Did any of us have Las Vegas in the top?
I did.
Did you?
Hmm.
I think I actually.
You did too, Vic?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the animated movie would bump it out, but the old men bumped out the turkeys.
Yeah, see, I don't remember if I had Las Vegas in number 3 or Freebirds was at number 3. I don't remember. I know I had all the new movies in the top 4.
I thought we had the same exact prediction, didn't we?
I don't think we might have. I think we did.
Then you had Ender's Game at number 4. That's what I had.
I don't know. I'd have to listen to the show because
We
last week's
forget.
show. I do forget. I could have
Especially the
sworn
one
I at
you're
least
on.
had Ender Game at either number 1 or 2. I don't remember.
Yeah, see, it's just animation films really it just throws us off every week. You don't know where it's a hit or miss, and this week it was a miss. But hopefully we don't have to worry about any animation films for a while, because I don't know when the next one comes out, but it's gonna definitely mess with us. But yeah, we all 3 of us are on a little bit of a dry spell. Brian's still in a drought.
I feel like this week I will get it.
Well, considering the fact there's only one film coming out, it makes it a little easier. We already know what number
Exactly.
one's gonna be.
I feel like I will get the top 4 right this week.
You're jinxing yourself.
No, I'm not.
Chancy,
Mhm.
Brian.
I'm gonna take the chance.
All right, well, we're going to talk about Ender's Game a little bit because it opened up at number 1, 28 mil. But unfortunately, it's sounding like there will not be a sequel to this film. The Hollywood Reporter says that a 28 million weekend opening it's not the kind of money that will immediately get a sequel, but maybe in the future, but not right now.
I feel like we should be playing like the violin in the background.
Yeah.
Like
You see
from
this?
the Titanic movie.
I'm like, you see this? It's the world's smallest violin playing.
There was one analyst who said Ender's Game has a credible 28 million U.S. opening, but not a plausible start of a new franchise for some entertainment in odd lot. So, I don't know. I mean, 28 million is not bad. That's a lot of. I would take that. I don't think anyone would decline $28 million, but I think they were expecting a lot more.
I don't know. I'm actually still kind of curious to see this movie and like see like just why it. You know, I'm just curious to see like why it didn't do as good as it should have, like people were expecting.
Well, like I said, there's 5 other books with the same character, Ender. So they I'm pretty sure they were planning a potential franchise when they decided to greenlight this movie. So that kind of sucks. I mean, when you were expecting a big franchise and then you're not going to get it probably, but
Everyone's hyped on Star Wars.
But the big factor here is overseas, what it grosses overseas. That will kind of determine if there's going to be any sequels. But I mean,
that's true.
I mean, I think this summer kind of really set the tone for it. I mean, like some of the box office bombs, like the Lone Ranger, it's kind of the safe bet not to do any hit or miss potential franchises. The way a lot of, you know, White House Down, that was another box office bomb. The Lone Ranger. So I mean, those failures are really changing what studios are doing.
That's why I'm curious. I want to watch these movies and see like why they failed. And more likely, I can guarantee it's probably the story.
Yeah, that's what we heard about the Lone Ranger. Story wasn't good. Vic saw it.
And that's
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I mean,
but
honestly, that's one of the reasons why I want to actually check out Ender's Game and see like just what's wrong.
a friend of mine saw it. He said the graphics were really, really good in Ender's Game. So,
Well, yeah, I have no.
but
doubt.
I was like, how's he acting though? Because you can have all the little bells and whistles you want,
Well, yeah,
but
because honestly, like I didn't. Besides Harrison Ford, I like no one else.
Ben
don't
Kingsley,
recognize.
sir.
And besides Ben Kingsley, I mean, besides those two, I mean, you got unknown like up and coming actors possibly, but like yeah, obviously the graphics are gonna be amazing. But it's like if you don't have a story, then
Well, if it's the story that's the problem, then you're gonna have to take it up with Roberto Orci, because he's the one that wrote the script. He wrote Star Trek, and a lot of people weren't happy with Star Trek. Well, Trekkie fans mostly. They didn't like the way they made it out to. They didn't really pay homage to the original. They made it, you know, they Hollywoodized it.
I don't know. I mean, I know sometimes it is hard to adapt a screenplay out of a book, especially for sci-fi.
Maybe Freebirds took a little bit of its money.
Probably did.
Both can kind of be
Animated
considered
films,
like
I've learned you can never underestimate animated films.
both can kind of be considered as like not necessarily like kids movies, but I mean Ender's Game isn't necessarily like an adult movie, you know. Same with like
Well,
Freebirds. So
yeah,
maybe
I
they
mean,
went
to me
back
this,
and forth.
like when I saw the trailer for this, like it looked more like a kid type. Because I mean the main character is a kid.
Believe it or not, though, they said a large majority of the people that went to see this movie were over the age of 25. So that might have had a huge effect on it. So it might have. I mean, they might have been targeting for a younger audience, but that's not who went to see it. They said a majority was over the age of 25.
Well, I mean I tend to notice like also like sci-fi usually like you don't get a young audience. It's usually always a much older audience that seems to watch sci-fi, unless it's like Star Wars or Star Trek. But anything else like sci-fi, it's usually like a
You
much
just don't
older
know, yeah.
audience.
It's hit or miss.
It pretty much is.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Like I said, overseas will definitely depend. It will determine if we see any more Ender Games movies. But let's talk about some biopics. We've been having a lot of biopics, haven't we?
Oh, we have.
Well, we're going to get another musical biopic, Motley Crue. I don't know if we have any Motley Crue fans here. I'm not really.
I am.
They got some good tunes. Good tunes.
Deadline's reporting that Jeff Tremaine, and that name might sound very familiar.
It
because
should,
we
yeah.
recently talked about him.
Yes.
He's the director of all the Jackass films, including Bad Grandpa. But he's been hired to direct the Motley Crue biopic, which is directly based off the 2001 autobiography entitled "The Dirt: Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band." So kind of a big project, kind of get away from the Jackass a little bit.
Honestly, I know they're doing a lot of biopic movies on like musicians. Obviously, we're gonna get one of Motley Crue here. I'd like to see one eventually of Kiss.
Oh, I would not be surprised.
I definitely like. To me, curiously, I would want to know like whose idea was it to dress up like that.
But Jeff Tremaine did make a statement. He said, "It's the spirit we've got to get right. It's important to get actors who play or who understand how to deliver the charisma it takes to be on stage. Rock stars have a swagger. Some of what they went through is funny, but overall, this movie is not going to be a comedy. It's pretty dark. I think fans of what I've done will like this movie, but it's not going to make you fall out of your chair laughing." So definitely, it's going to be a different aspect for Jeff Tremaine after just directing, pretty much straight Jackass movies. He's done a couple documentaries, but this will definitely be a change of pace.
I definitely would love to see this once it's done.
Yeah,
It sounds interesting to me.
I definitely want to keep an eye out on the casting for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, see, now I kind of want to like actually Google like Motley Crue and like see pictures of them younger, and then like try to in my head figure out who would fit the bill to play them.
Yeah, that's always the fun part about biopics is this, just debating on who should play who. And we have another biopic we'll talk about later on in the show.
Cool. I love it. Well, it's actually been quite some time since we even brought this up. I think it's like the first year we started this is when we like the last time we talked about it. Video game adaptations. Kane and Lynch, one of my favorite PlayStation games, has been talked about over the past several years. It was actually slated to have Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx play the Kane and Lynch roles. Well, now it seems like they got someone else in mind, and it's Gerard Butler in talks to join the Kane and Lynch project.
Yeah, see, I like the Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx duo better.
I do, in a way, I kind of do too. But I mean, like, if you've actually played the video game,
Yeah, Jamie Foxx would. I mean, Kane and Lynch aren't necessarily Jamie Foxx's.
There wasn't even a
Like-
black.
no,
There's
there's
Yeah,
not
right.
there's not a black guy. Don't get racist.
I'm not getting racist. I'm just
Well, you say it to me all the time, so I just had to throw it back at you. But
hilarious.
it is. Anyways,
That's just an observation.
anyways, yeah, there is no African American in the video game.
You can't say black.
I just wanted to,
Really?
I wanted to change
Black.
it up.
Black.
But I mean,
Black.
I actually like the Gerard Butler being in this, believe it or not, because if you actually, like I said, if you actually play the video game, like his look, even with like if he's actually got like full like beard, he actually looks like one of the main like characters in the video game.
Well, this is my problem. I don't know which one he would play because I've never played the game, so I have no idea if he's Kane or Lynch. But have you heard who they're looking at for the other potential actor to be in this movie? Because I do not like it at all. Vin Diesel is being looked at for this, so it'd be Gerard Butler and Vin Diesel. No, I don't like it. That's where they ruined it right there. Gerard Butler, I would have no problem. I mean, he did 300. He looked ripped. He could be in an action movie, no problem. I mean, Vin Diesel's been in action movies, but I just don't like him as an actor.
Well, yeah, he's not that great of an actor.
Probably the only thing he actually was decent in was Saving Private Ryan, and he got killed in the first 30 minutes, so I have no faith in it anymore. Like I said, Bruce Willis and Jamie Foxx, despite the fact there is not an African-American.
Well, yeah,
And Kane and Lynch, I like
it'd be a
better.
lot better. I'd give you that. Even Gerard Butler is a good selection, but Vin Diesel, no.
But these are just rumors.
Yeah, it is just rumors. They're only throwing offers out right now, so I mean they may not even take it. I mean Vin Diesel, for all we know, maybe booked solid with Marvel.
Yeah, that might affect it right there.
Because once upon a time too, it was Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton. I thought
Yeah.
at one point that was like the
Well,
duo.
yeah, so that was
the other one, Billy Bob
when
Thornton.
when the rumor
He
came
knows.
out that the movie was gonna be made.
I
That
know.
was the two that everyone was
I
saying.
like that one.
Well, yeah, honestly, I could definitely. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton can play a psychopathic
Yeah.
person. He would fit the main like one of the character
Yeah, he
in the
plays that
video
all the
game.
time.
I mean, honestly, like when I was playing the video game, that's the person that popped in my head. Like Billy Bob Thornton.
But then yeah,
Taters.
and then we started hearing Jamie Foxx, and I'm like, yeah, I like that too. But Vin Diesel, I mean, yeah, Gerard Butler, that's fine. Go for it. That's good.
Well, it is a
Vin
very
Diesel,
popular
really.
game. It sold over 1 million copies,
And there's another.
and there was a sequel
Yeah.
to it that didn't do as well as the first one.
That's
I
a
actually
shame.
played the demo and was not happy with it. But hopefully, we get some good people to be in this. Because honestly, video game adaptations of they just don't do too well.
No,
And then
they
Mark
don't.
Wahlberg's thinking about doing the Mass Effect. Speaking of video games, turning into movies. I don't know if you guys played Mass Effect, but
I don't.
it's a really good game, and
it's really risky to get into video game adaptation.
It has, because almost every single one of them has been a letdown.
Well, we'll see how Need for Speed goes, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll base it off of that.
I'm praying, I'm hoping.
I'm thinking that movie will do well, but
I'm
I'm not sure
hoping.
about the story.
I'm hoping.
No, Heavy Rain will be, I think, good if they do it right.
Well, I mean, a lot of these like video game adaptations would be good if they did do it right and they had like a good story to it and a good cast. But I think they drop the ball almost like every time.
I don't know. We got some interesting ones. Assassin's Creed, when that's ready.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender. That should be an interesting one.
It's all about the story though. But I don't know.
I stopped playing the games. I stopped playing after the first one. And like, how many are they on now? Like, 6?
Well, they're on number 4, but it's
Is it
actually like
4?
the 5th or 6th one because there's
Okay.
been like sequels for the sequels kind of thing.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk a little bit about Seth Rogen. Because we don't talk about him a whole lot, but
It's been a while.
yeah, but this is kind of interesting because I don't know if you guys are fans of the show Workaholics. Anybody here at this table?
I've seen a
I've-
couple episodes. It's
I
pretty
haven't
funny.
watched all of them, but yeah, they are. It is pretty damn hilarious.
Well, it sounds like these two are going to be getting together here, or the 4 of them actually. Seth Rogen and the 3 workaholics who are Adam Devine, Anders Holm, and Blake Anderson, and Scott Rudin, who's a producer. Sounds like they're going to be teaming up here for a project, and Anders Holm, who's in Workaholics, he'll be writing the script. Kyle Newacek, series co-creator who also plays Carl on the show, will direct the movie. But it sounds, I don't know if Seth Rogen's going to actually be in the movie.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Well,
I'm actually not surprised that he's actually collaborating with him because I mean, I kind of had a feeling it was only a matter of time. I mean, since he actually did I don't know if it's just one episode or a couple episodes, but I know he's actually been in an episode of Workaholics, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I didn't really say if Seth Rogen was going to actually be in it, but if he's not in it, I could definitely see some of his clique being in it, like I don't know, Jonah Hill or something, James Franco, people from This Is the End or something. But they said it's not Workaholics related, so it's not like a Workaholics movie. So I'm kind of curious to see what it's going to be about. But that should be hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, I know the people that do Workaholics. It's a funny show. I know Seth Rogen's always a funny person who delivers funny movies. So
They're all stoners, so there's going to be some...
Yeah, obviously it's going to be stoner related
stoner-related
material. So honestly, I have no doubt in my mind it's probably going to be something hilarious.
Yeah, I was just... I was pretty excited to read that and share it.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well,
we're
thank you, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, thank you, Seth Rogen. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead for a little bit. Great show.
Oh, let's get it. I'm going to get into it on this
Yeah,
one.
we're going to talk about this. It's probably something we're going to talk about for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know it's an interesting topic. Especially after I read the article, I was kind of like speechless and couldn't believe it. There's actually somebody who does not like The Walking Dead.
I'm sure there's a lot
Probably
of
dead people.
Yeah, a lot of people
I'm
don't.
sure dead people don't like Walking Dead.
Yeah, dead
They're
people
seeing their
definitely
own.
don't like The Walking Dead.
But
But
this one in particular.
yeah, this one is a legend, especially when it comes to zombies. George Romero does not like The Walking Dead, which I found kind of amazing. But he has his reasons.
I need to hear some quotes from this.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna read. The legendary horror filmmaker of Night of the Living Dead actually told a British magazine he said no because he actually was offered to direct some episodes for the AMC mega hit The Walking Dead, but passed because he said the drama is just a soap opera with zombies occasionally. He actually went by quoting, "They asked me to do a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead, but I didn't want to be a part of it." Romero said in the Halloween edition of The Big Issue, basically it's just a soap opera with a zombie occasionally. I always used the zombie as a character for satire or a political criticism, and I find that missing in what's happening now. Romero, the father of zombie cinema, whose seminal Night of the Living Dead is in the National Film Registry, also seems to have an issue in general with modern film and TV zombies and the pace at which they try to track down their human snacks. He also went by quoting, "I guess Zack Snyder started that with the remake of Dawn of the Dead, fast-moving zombies, but the zombies in World War Z, my god, they're like army ants. But in all the advertisements here, they never called it a zombie film," Romero went on by quoting. So, he's got a lot of issues with, not just The Walking Dead, apparently.
Well, I guess I could see part of his point because I mean, he's a zombie legend. He's done so many zombie films, but it's not a soap opera.
It's not.
And even
It is basically like I could see where he's coming from, but I can also see like from another point of view as well.
because if it was just straight up zombies, that's all you had. It wouldn't be interesting. There has to be a storyline, character development, and that's what's missing. That's what he doesn't realize is that cinema's different from when he started out.
Totally it's totally different.
If you don't have a story, if you don't have good characters and a good arc for those characters,
And see, that's
your show will not work.
That's one of the main things about The Walking Dead too. Is like it's a character-driven show. Like from like now, since like the beginning of the show till now, like the characters have grown. They have adapted, and that's something you need, especially for the show that's been so successful.
Because what's even more interesting than the threat of zombies is the threat of each other. You know, you have to have inner conflict. It can't just be a conflict between human and zombie. It's got to be the conflict between human and human, and that's what's happened on this show, and that will continue to happen because of how successful it's been. But I mean, you'll have your occasional run-in with a zombie or zombies, but it can't be straight. That can't be all the entire show. And I think the show is doing quite well the way it is because I mean, look how many viewers it got on the season 4 premiere. It's already been renewed for a 5th season. So I think it's
everywhere. It's got video games.
Honestly, I think he might be a little jealous of how successful it's been.
He might be a little bit, but I mean, he did get offered to direct some episodes of The Walking Dead, and hopefully, I mean, I would love this. Like, I hope he would change his mind because I would love to see him direct and like put his spin on it.
Because I mean, you don't really necessarily need a story for a movie. I mean, yeah, you do, of course, but when it's a TV show and it's running this long, you need a story. Like, there's no way around it. Like, you need, like you were saying, like character arc and all that growth and development and all that stuff. So it works with a TV show, but I guess he just, like you were saying,
the way he looks at
probably
it,
hating.
He looks at zombies as the main character, which I mean,
I don't agree with that.
I don't really necessarily agree with that either because I mean, especially with this day and age, you need characters that have arcs, that have a story, like a background.
The undead won't have an arc.
Well, no, they
Exactly,
don't.
yeah.
I mean, back then in the 80s, yeah, he was able to get away with it. No problem, whatever. But times have changed, like you said.
I mean, it's a form of antagonism. I mean, technically they are the quote-unquote bad guys. But I mean, like in last season, you saw the governor who was a human antagonist, which is something that really helped the show. I mean, how many people hate the governor? Everybody. And, you know, I mean, just despite, you know...
And he's still out there, too.
Yeah, he's
so
out there.
He's out there somewhere.
I want to know where he is, damn it.
I mean, obviously, I can see his point. You know, him being a legend, he thinks the zombies is what, you know, drives a zombie movie. And of course it does to some extent, but you got to have character development, character
I mean,
arcs and
I'll
stories.
give him this. Like, I disagree with him about The Walking Dead because, I mean, it's not a soap opera. But I would have to agree with him on, like, especially, like, World War Z. How they look like running ants.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about
I mean,
that.
I know I've heard the movie's good. I still have yet to see it, but...
Our brother, who absolutely loves zombies, he said it was good. So, I mean, I might have to check
I mean,
it out.
I do hate the fact that zombies, like, run. I mean, they should be, like, slow.
It makes them more of a threat, though.
It does
It
make
makes
them more of a threat, but...
More horrifying, which is kind of good.
I don't know.
Fast zombies, slow ones. I mean, they're zombies.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a
They're
threat
dead.
regardless. Like,
Exactly.
they're still gonna get you. They'll sneak up on
especially
you.
if they're, like, in a big group.
The church house creeper.
Yeah.
But definitely interesting
Yeah,
comments.
it was a very interesting article when I came across it. So.
Well, he had his chance to direct, like we were saying, so he had a chance to maybe fix it or
Do
in his
what he
own mind
wanted.
or whatever he wanted to do with it, and he just didn't take it. So, can you really complain after that?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Well, it's now time for...
Vic's pick.
I wish to hear a little bit more this time. And that's all you get for right now. All right, did you guys figure out what this one was?
I actually didn't even see the picture, so I
What?
don't know. I have any idea what it was. You'd have to show me the picture before I could even.
Well, it's on our Twitter. I need to.
I
stop-
tried. Yeah, see, I went on Twitter like when I was at work and I couldn't find. Like I saw our trailer of the week was put up there, but
Yeah.
I didn't see the.
I keep forgetting to post it on Facebook as well. I usually just kind of stick to Twitter for
Yeah,
right now.
I kept looking
so-
for it, but I couldn't find it.
But it's actually 2012's action thriller film Haywire. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh, of course, who did all the Ocean 11 movies, 12, 13. Aaron Brockovich, and of course he won Best Director for Traffic. It stars Michael Douglas, Michael Fassbender, Ewan McGregor, Antonio Banderas, Bill Paxton, and Gina Carano, who is now in Fast 6. And it's about a Black Ops super soldier played by Gina Carano that seeks payback after she is betrayed and set up during a mission. For those of you who don't know, Gina Carano is actually an MMA fighter. Like she's like legit. She was undefeated for a while. So all it's all hand-to-hand combat too.
Nice.
She has a huge fight scene with Michael Fassbender that's pretty intense. I think she did all of her own stunts, like the majority of her own stunts too. IMDb has it at a 5.8 out of 10, basically a 6. Rotten Tomatoes had it at 80% of reviews were actually positive, and Netflix had it at a 3 out of 5 stars. It is about, let's see, I got the running time here somewhere. I think it's like an hour and a half. The budget was about $23 million. It made about $33 million in the box office, so it did make some profit. And I actually did like the little fun movie facts that I did last time. I only have one for this one because I didn't want to ruin anything else of the movie. But Dennis Quaid was supposed to be casted into this movie, but he couldn't because he was doing Soul Surfer. So Bill Paxton replaced him. And it is on Netflix, and it's a really good little action movie. It's kind of one of those surprising ones where you see it not expecting too much, and you're like, oh, that was actually pretty good. So that is my VIX pick for this week. So go check it out.
Definitely a good pick. I've noticed too. Like it seems like any movie that Michael Douglas in actually does either really good or okay.
Yeah, there's
Great cast.
It does
yeah,
have
it's a
great
lot of
cast.
people.
I honestly
Channing
I can't
Tatum.
remember the last time I've seen.
Oh yeah,
where
Channing
Michael-
Tatum.
Where
Forgot
Michael
about him.
Douglas is in a movie where it bombs.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. He has a fight with Gina Carano too. There's just like a lot of fighting going on, and it's all
Of
looks.
course, you got Gina Carano in there.
Oh
Ewan
yeah,
McGregor, Michael Fassbender. Yeah, I mean
That's a damn good guess.
Steven Soderbergh. He is a
He's a damn good
Oscar.
director, man.
Yeah, Soderbergh is, and he later worked with Channing Tatum again on Magic Mike.
Hmm.
So
So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Well, we are gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, some weekly film facts. So don't go away.
Don't go. Don't go.
And we are back.
yes, we are.
Some fun film facts. What do you got for us this week?
Well, I got 3 for you guys here. The author of Jaws, and believe it or not, I actually didn't know that Jaws was based off a book before a movie. But the author of Jaws, Peter Branchley, he plays the role of a TV reporter in the adapted film. Benchley was reportedly thrown off set after continually arguing with Steven Spielberg about the film's ending.
Interesting.
So apparently they changed the ending. If not, he would not be arguing. So
I'm kind of curious to see what
the book ending is.
yeah.
I don't know. Very, very interesting.
I don't think I'd be able to read the book without doing like the sound effect, like bunum, bunum.
Or from Family Guy was like, "Hey, I can see right up them shorts. I'ma eat you. I'm a shark."
Executive producer of Toy Story and chief Pixar shareholder Steve Jobs picked Bob Dylan as his first choice to write and perform the soundtrack to the film over Randy Newman. Could you imagine Bob Dylan singing "You've Got a Friend in Me"?
You got a friend in me.
I had a feeling you were.
You
gonna
got
try-
a friend in me.
Yeah, I can't picture it. Or
I can't, and I don't want to even actually like. I'm like, it's like
You
nails on a
just did.
chalkboard right now. Yeah, but that wasn't a good impression though. That was actually pretty bad.
well, it definitely almost happened. So
My God, that would have. I probably
would've
would
been
not have been able to
terrible.
watch Toy Story.
yeah, that would have ruined the whole.
I mean,
thing.
I like Bob Dylan, but God, that would have ruined Toy Story.
And I thought finally this was fitting since the sequel to this film is coming out in about 3 weeks. Within 3 days of release, The Hunger Games became the highest grossing film for Lionsgate Productions. And I'm pretty sure Lionsgate is very thrilled. And they'll be even more thrilled when Catch
sure
the
they're-
Fire comes out.
I'm
in
sure
about
they're
3
dancing
weeks.
on the desk. Woo!
Yeah, they're definitely be rolling in the money.
Show me the money.
But that is this week's weekly cinema facts.
Some interesting fun facts. Very nice, very nice. Well, it's now time for the unscripted movie scenes for the week. And they're both old films. I'm sure Brett hasn't seen either one of them. The first one is from the original RoboCop.
I'd buy that for $1. Love that movie.
I didn't really care for the original.
What? Crazy.
I enjoyed the toys, the ones where you actually put like the caps and like cap gun. Anyways, when antagonist Clarence Boddicker, which was played by Kurtwood Smith, who you guys are not familiar with that name, he played Red from that 70s show, is taken to the police precinct after receiving a solid whooping by RoboCop, which was played by Peter Weller.
Who's on Sons of Anarchy now, actually.
Yeah. Boddicker actually spits a bloody glob onto the paperwork of the desk sergeant, followed by the line, "Give me my fucking phone call." Smith...
You just swore.
Oh, that was the line!
You just swore.
Yard duty, he swore.
That was the line!
Yard duty.
Smith and Bovher briefly had discussed the unscripted moment before filming the scene, but neglected to inform the extras, which was evident by their real and disgusted surprise as the scene unfolded.
Very nice.
It was very nice. And finally, the final film, The Warriors, in a scene where the script called for Luther, which was played by David Patrick Kelly, leader of the vicious New York gang, the Rogues, to drive up and provoke rival gang, the Warriors, to a fight in the streets by clinking bottles together. Kelly spontaneously added the now famous line, "Warriors come out to play."
Really?
Yes.
So that wasn't
in the script.
Wow.
Why is it that always the best lines are
Never in the
they're,
script.
they're all they're just improvised?
I love it.
How many more of those do you have, anyways?
Yeah, I was about to ask you that.
Is this like one of the last? Is next week the last one?
I believe it is actually. Yeah.
Wow,
Dang.
the end of an era.
Yep. Coming to an end.
So disappointing.
And then a new segment will begin.
Is it the Nick Cage one?
No. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to, one day it's going to be there.
Well, I'll know because I always look at your pages.
Or I'll just have, a little wild card up my sleeve that you don't know about.
But Brian, you don't have any sleeves.
Well, not tonight, I don't.
Sleeveless. That was partly a movie reference. It's from Wedding Crashers, except it's with a belt. I don't wear a belt. Beltless. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because he's an awesome dancer, right?
Yeah.
And the belt kind of prevents him from dancing well.
It does.
It's like, I dance too well. He's onto me now.
So stupid.
Stupid.
I want my painting back.
What we shared was a moment.
It was a gift. All right. Good Wedding Crashers references here.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Jake Gyllenhaal. We're going to talk about Brokeback Mountain a little bit. No, I mean, not the movie. That's his nickname, is Brokeback Mountain. We're going to talk about the movie Southpaw, which we talked about before a long time ago, when Eminem was attached to the film.
Long time ago.
Okay, Don McLean. According to the Wrap, Jake Gyllenhaal is in talks to replace Eminem in the boxing drama entitled Southpaw, which is being directed by Training Day director Antoine Fuqua. If the deal gets signed, Gyllenhaal will play a left-handed prize fighter who wins a title but suffers a tragedy soon after and must put his life back together to earn the respect of his young daughter. Kind of sounds like The Wrestler a little bit.
Kind of sounds like a backwards $1 Million Baby, too.
Or yeah.
Suffers like a, and what's up with Eminem
I
getting
actually was thinking
replaced?
about that movie earlier today, The Wrestler.
So first, Elysium, wasn't Eminem supposed to be like the
Yeah,
guy?
playing Matt Damon
and,
part.
and now this one?
I love, because I remember when he did 8 Mile, he says, he even went by quoting, I'm never going to star in movies, I hate acting. And yet, all these rumors, he's supposed to be in this one, he's supposed to be in that one. I'm like, okay, what happened there?
I think every raptor.
Every
Every
rapper tries to act.
Yeah, ever since Jurassic Park, they've been trying to get roles, but they've been typecasted to just, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, but rappers, they all try and act a little bit to some extent. I mean, we've seen 50 Cent in some movies. T.I., what other rappers?
Little Bow Wow.
Yeah, Bow Wow, there you go. See, he doesn't even count. He's not even a rapper to me anymore. I don't even know if he still
See,
raps.
yeah, I was gonna say, is he still around? I haven't seen him since Entourage.
Oh, Chris Brown too tries to.
Oh yeah, that's the other
Oh,
one.
you had to
Yeah.
bring up that.
Chris Brown. That's the other one. All rappers act.
Chris Bruiser. or
Yeah,
something
Chris
like
the Bruiser.
Or I should say they try to act. But yeah.
You can't top Mark Wahlberg
Yeah. You
or
can't.
Ice Cube. Mm-mm.
that. Or ST.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Yeah, you know, you can.
I was
top
wondering if you were gonna say that line, but you didn't. I'm trying to keep it clean.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But
You
yeah.
already cussed already. No more cussing.
That's because
okay,
it was
guys?
part of the line in the movie.
No
Okay?
more cussing, guys.
I haven't cussed.
Yeah, no more cussing. We got to clean this show up a bit, guys.
Yeah, this is
No more
Dis-
racism.
we are owned by Disney.
Yeah, no more
Are we really?
racism.
I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
No more.
I'm not getting any cut of that.
No more
if that's the case.
profanity. No, but I think they're getting a serious upgrade here. I mean, nothing against Eminem.
I would love to see Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie. I think this role would like kind of show like just how well he can act. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if he like possibly gets an Oscar nomination if it's well written.
But when it was Eminem that was attached, you were looking at a possible, in my eyes, anyways, like a grade D potential film.
Yeah, now it's like
It's an A. Yeah. The only thing I'm concerned about, I mean, are we gonna see Gyllenhaal like blink aggressively and excessively like he did in Prisoners? Is he gonna add some sort of quirky mannerisms to his character?
He might blink a lot, especially when he's boxing. I mean, heck, 2 for flinching.
You got to keep your eyes open if you're a boxer. You can't blink too much.
So you wanna be a boxer?
That was really the only criticism that me myself and other people really had about Prisoners was the fact that he kept blinking every 3 seconds. So I mean, he thought it added to the character, but he's a good actor.
I know sometimes they like certain, like I said,
overact.
yeah, like I said, almost every actor.
You talking about Ben Affleck right now?
No, I wasn't.
I
was
you
just
were
gonna
bring him
say
up.
no. I was just gonna say like most actors sometimes like even A-list actors they'll do something like for a role where they overdo it. Every actor has done that.
I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis has.
He's one that's
What's
the exception, I guess you can say.
what's above an A-list actor? Because that's what Daniel Day-Lewis is. If there was a
the
letter
legend.
that came before
A legend.
he would be a legend. Yeah.
Legendary. Daniel Day-Lewis, Meryl Streep are legendary.
There's a lot more on that list, I think.
Well, yeah, a lot more,
But I'm pretty interested to see if this happens. Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, that's a definite a great replacement. I want to know what happened to Eminem. Why he bowed out.
who knows? Who knows?
He keeps dropping out of movies left and right. So I don't know what the heck his deal is.
Yeah, who knows? Well, we're gonna talk about Spike Lee. And the film that Spinning Gold, which we talked about before on the show. Spike Lee was in early talks to direct the Neil Bogart biopic Spinning Gold. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Justin Timberlake is now going to be playing the infamous record executive. That's an interesting person to star in this.
Well, when we talked about it, I think he was already attached to it, but Spike Lee is the new name. That's something we hadn't heard before, and makes it a little more intriguing. He's an Academy Award winning director, and he's got a new movie coming out called Old Boy with Josh Brolin.
Yes, and
Which
that
looks
looks pretty
pretty
good.
Have you guys seen the original though?
Of Old Boy?
Yeah.
There's an original?
Yeah, this is a kind of
Remake?
like the girl with the dragon tattoo kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. No.
I don't know how it's gonna go over with like American audiences because
Yeah.
I think it was like a Korean film. I forget what Old Boy was, but
Is it on Netflix?
hopefully it was on there once. It's kind of ridiculous. Like just a story.
Okay, you've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It's a really good movie. It's just really weird and like twisted in a way. I don't know if it'll go over well with like American audiences. If you
Well,
will.
I mean, the trailer with Josh Brolin in it, like it definitely caught my eye when I was like, okay, this looks like a good movie.
Yeah, it's got an interesting premise to it, that's for sure. I did not know it was a remake though.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
But
Well, there you go.
Well, that movie Old Boy is hitting this November 27th.
yeah, sweet.
But yeah, Spike Lee. I mean, I like some of the things he says, but he is a damn good director. I will give him that.
Yeah.
And like just him possibly directing this with Justin Timberlake to lead in the movie. That's never thought I'd see that.
Yeah, see, that's the problem I have with Spike Lee. He's a great filmmaker, but he puts his foot in his mouth way too much.
Yes, he does.
Is he still mad at Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, that's
for Django.
yeah,
Probably.
that's the main thing that I'm like, oh my god.
But
man.
the movie, like this, Spinning Gold has an interesting plot. Neil Bogart, I'm not sure. I've talked about it before. I'll mention it again. He is the late founder of Casablanca Records in 1974 and is credited for discovering and launching many music superstars such as Kiss, Parliament, Donna Summer, and the Village People.
Parliament.
Are just a few of the acts on the roster that he founded. So,
Interesting duo,
yes.
Spike Lee and Justin Timberlake. So that
Never,
should be
never thought I'd see that duo.
Nope. You're seeing a lot more interesting duos now, and some of them work, some of them don't. We'll see if this one goes well. All right. Earlier in the show, I talked about the Motley Crue biopic, and I said that we would have another biopic to talk about. So this one's very interesting. We just talked about Daniel Day-Lewis a couple minutes ago. It's kind of Daniel Day-Lewis related. He's not in the film, but it's talking about a film he was in. Steven Spielberg, and the author of Team of Rivals, The Political Genius of Abraham Lincoln, who the book was adapted into the movie Lincoln, which Daniel Day-Lewis starred in. Apparently, Steven Spielberg and the author of that book, Doris Kearns Goodwin, they're going to be teaming up again because she's writing a new book entitled The Bully Pulpit, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft in the Golden Age of Journalism. It's a chronicle of the two friends turned political opponents, Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. The official synopsis is, the Bully Pulpit is also the story of muckraking press which arouses the spirit of reform that helps Roosevelt push the government to shed its laissez-faire attitude toward robber barons, corrupt politicians, and corporate exploiters of our natural resources. The muckrakers are portrayed through the greatest group of journalists ever assembled at one magazine: Ida Tarbell, Ray Stannard Baker, Lincoln Stephens, and William Allen White, teamed under the mercurial genius of publisher S.S. McClure. So it's going to be it's another presidential biopic. So we got one of Lincoln, and now we're going to be getting one of Teddy Roosevelt and William Taft.
Is Robin Williams playing Teddy Roosevelt?
I knew you were
That's
going to
all
say
I
that.
was thinking throughout that whole
I
time.
was too. I was too.
I knew you guys were going to...
I just pictured him like this. He's like,
I'm Teddy at your service.
Yeah, when I was putting this story together, I kept thinking, they're going to say something about Robin Williams.
You kind of have to.
He's the only guy that's really played him.
Exactly.
Well, at least that we know of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there probably is another movie where someone's playing him, but as far as we know, that's...
But, I mean, you look at the success that these two had with Lincoln, the author, and Steven Spielberg, and DreamWorks is a part of it, of course, who did Lincoln. They're all on board. I mean, this has got the potential to be another Academy Award nominated film. The book was actually released today, so we could be waiting a few years, but getting an announcement with Steven Spielberg's name attached, that's pretty big news.
Yeah. I'm definitely curious to see who's going to play Teddy Roosevelt and William Taft.
Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like Steven Spielberg is going to be directing the film.
Producing?
Yeah, he's just going to be producing instead. But, I mean, when you have a name like Spielberg attached to produce, you already know he's going to get a good guy to direct the film.
Yes.
And, you never know. He could change his mind and decide to direct the film later on. But, yeah, that's the thing. Who would play Teddy Roosevelt and William Taft? Not a clue. The only person we can really think in our mind right now is Robin Williams,
Yes.
because he's the only one that's
Teddy
really,
Roosevelt, let's just...
he's the only one that's really played it recently, but I don't think that'll happen. It'd be interesting, though.
Who knows? You never know. You never know.
Definitely interesting, though.
Well, we're going to move away from biopics and talk a little bit about Marvel. Apparently, something came out this week, official, with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who everyone knows is Kick-Ass, is officially set to play Quicksilver.
Mhm.
It's official now. He's going to be playing Quicksilver in Josh Whedon's Avengers Age of Ultron. I think that's a good addition to the cast.
It's not bad.
I feel like we've talked about this 3 separate times.
Well, we've talked about it like he was rumored, but now it's official.
I've heard, the last 2 times we talked about it, it was official. So I'm very confused what's happening. Does there have to be like 3 confirmations for it to be confirmed officially?
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, because I remember the first time we talked about it, we said that it was official. And then the second time we talked about it, it was another confirmation. So
Well, you might be like also referring to because Taylor Johnson's portrayal of the Speedy Mutant will be the second take on the character to hit the big screen because Evan Peters is set to play the same role in Bryan Singer's X-Men: Days of Future Past.
yeah, I don't think we talked about that one. I've just heard Aaron Taylor Johnson's name attached to that, so I don't know, but
Well, it is apparently official now. He's now official playing Quicksilver.
It's been official for a while though. But I don't know. I just said that Kick-Ass was kind of his audition for a real superhero movie. It's kind of what it looks like now, anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
because at the time he was kind of an unknown actor, and now he's going to be in Avengers, so that's crazy.
Well, Avengers: Age of Ultron is scheduled for a release of May 1st, 2015.
It's gonna be a nice little paycheck for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's why
Super
everybody
nice
wanted to
pitch,
get
yeah.
involved.
Exactly. It's either Marvel or Star Wars. It's what you want to get into. Well, speaking of Marvel, we're going to continue on here. Obviously, everyone knows the movie that's coming out this Friday is Thor: The Dark World. It actually was released overseas this past week, and whew, it made some money.
Yeah,
$45.2 million overseas.
that's just the weekend.
Yeah, that is just for the weekend, and whew, I would love to see that like on my desk right now.
That'd be sweet.
That would be, whew, that'd be nice. I'd quit my job. Though I was yet to pen in Argentina, Italy, China, or Japan. I do have some the numbers for certain release like in certain areas throughout the world. UK made 7.8 million. In France, made 5.8. Germany, 4.1 million. Australia, 2.9 million. Korea and the Philippines, 2.6 million. Mexico made 1.9 million. Brazil and Spain both made 1.7 million. Taiwan made 1.6 million. Russia, 1.5, and Sweden, $1.2 million.
How did
Worldwide.
Taiwan get it before us?
I have no idea.
Like Taiwan, really?
Yeah, seriously, Taiwan.
It's
Did they
usually-
make it?
They do it different ways. Like sometimes U.S. will have it first, and
Well,
then it
yeah,
will go overseas, or it'll be overseas first, and then it'll come to America. It's weird how they do it.
Well, yeah. Also, because of the, Thor made 45.2 million for this, it made Walt Disney Pictures to reach 2.314 billion internationally for the year, breaking the studio's previous record of 2.302 billion from 2010.
Crazy.
So
With
yeah.
all that money, they can actually afford us. So
Right? They literally could buy our show with all this money.
Oh,
They
with all
could
that
afford
money,
us
yeah.
for like $100, you guys. What are we talking about?
can I get like a season pass and maybe like $20?
20.
And just call it even.
That'd be even with me.
I'd be happy with just a lifetime pass.
Season
Yeah.
passes for life.
Yes, that would be sweet.
A little VIP
And membership
pass.
to the club, 33.
Yeah, I don't think that one. That's pushing it. I don't think we'd get that.
I don't think we'd get what we're demanding anyways, so.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, we can dream. No, but continuing on with Thor: The Dark World. Like you said, it opened overseas on the 30th, the 31st of October, and on November 1st. And according to the Hollywood Reporter, and pretty much if you have any common sense, it's a hit with how much money it's already made. The weekend, you said 42.3. But in 5 days, Thor: The Dark World pulled in $109 million in 5 days overseas. And like you said, Disney surpassed their 2.3 billion mark, which for foreign box office grosses for 2013, which is a new record for them. The interesting thing is it's coming out this Friday on American soil. The big question right now, and it's kind of surprising because I didn't think this film would be the one to be even in the same discussion as it. Do you think it can top the Iron Man 3 box office total of 1.2 billion worldwide, which made it the fifth highest grossing movie of all time behind Avatar, Titanic, The Avengers, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Yes, I do.
You think it can?
I think it will.
You think it will beat Iron Man 3?
I think it will either beat or tie.
It would be complete luck if it tied. That'd have to be.
Because honestly, I like the way I look at it. Like these Marvel movies, when they continue on, like they're getting better and better. I mean, not to mention this is the second part of Thor that we're seeing with Loki, which everyone loves, by the way.
He's considered the best villain in Marvel.
Exactly, and I mean, everyone's gonna go see him because he's awesome. So I definitely, like I said, I could see it tying or even possibly like breaking it.
Well, which one? Pick one. You think it's gonna break? Do you think it's just gonna come up a little short? It would be amazing if it tied, because that would just be coincidental if it tied.
1.2 billion.
Yeah, worldwide. So I mean, it's already opened overseas at 109 million in 5 days. It hasn't opened up here yet, so it's gonna.
I think it will break it.
You think it's gonna break 1.2 billion?
Yeah.
What about you, Vic?
Honestly, Thor's been kind of picking up steam. All of a sudden, he's like not everybody's favorite, but he's like top up there. Seems like. So I think so.
If this will help a decision.
What did Iron Man make in those like 5 days?
I don't know.
Oh.
This past Halloween, Thor was voted the most popular Halloween costume among men and children, while Iron Man trailed as third. That kind of just shows you how popular he is.
Yeah, like all of a sudden now he's like the main guy now.
Well, yeah, I mean, because honestly, like even before the first movie came out, I've heard of him, but like I never like all right, whatever. But like when I saw the first movie, especially with Chris Hemsworth, I was like, damn, this is good.
Yeah, it was. It was actually pretty good. The first one was good, and the second one just looks like it's going to be even crazier, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you said, it's made 109 in 5 days, in not that big of a market, but...
Taiwan.
Yeah. It has yet to open in 5 major markets.
I think it'll break it.
This Friday, it'll open in North America, China, Japan, Italy, and Argentina, which are considered the 5 biggest markets for film. So... I think it's going to break it as well. So Iron Man 3, you better watch out here. Because Thor's right behind you.
With his mighty hammer.
Yeah, with his mighty hammer. That's pretty lofty there for us to say that it's going to break Iron Man 3. We might be dead wrong.
I don't think we will.
It's going to have a huge opening. All right, now
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Huge opening.
Huge opening, yeah.
Huge.
I will be there.
You gonna go see it?
Yes.
On Friday?
I'm gonna go see it on Thursday.
See, I haven't even seen the first one.
Yeah, so you haven't even watched hardly any of these Marvel movies,
No.
so it's like you need to get on the ball on that.
The only one that I haven't seen is the Captain America one. I've seen like bits and pieces. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, though. As far as his movie, I heard it was not that bad.
It's really good.
I do this show to talk about Marvel movies. I don't do it to watch the movies. I don't need to watch Marvel movies.
Apparently, you don't need to see Thor.
I don't. I didn't really plan on it. I'm just saying that it's probably going to break Iron Man 3's record. So, all right, but we're going to talk about Star Trek 3, which we have talked about on and off. But of course, I mean, the big question right now, I mean, without J.J. Abrams directing, who's going to direct? Who's going to take over the vision of Star Trek? They still got their screenwriters, Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman. But Deadline is going on record to say that Paramount and Skydance Productions are really looking seriously at Joe Cornish, who directed Attack the Block, which was a big sci-fi film over in the UK. I don't know if it ever made a wide release out here, but it was
Doesn't sound familiar.
It was very popular over in the United Kingdom. But they're looking at Joe Cornish to helm the third installment of Star Trek, which is likely to shoot in the summer of next year. But released in 2011, Cornish's Attack the Block won over passionate fans by taking an Aliens Among Us storyline and grounding it in a gritty, colorful British neighborhood populated by vicious but charismatic hooligans who didn't take kindly to extraterrestrials invading their space. Cornish, similar to Neil Blomkamp's 2009's District 9, found ways to root futuristic science fiction in contemporary scenarios. Like I said, the writers from the first 2 films are back, Orci and Kurtzman. Cornish hasn't directed many films. In fact, the only film that he has directed, I mean, he's done some TV shows, but the only film he's directed is the Attack of the Block, which got rave reviews, which was a sci-fi film. So he's got the sci-fi background a little bit, but he's been more of a screenwriter. He's penned the screenplay for The Adventures of Tintin, which we saw, which was directed by Peter Jackson. So I mean, screenplay's got to be pretty good to get a name like Peter Jackson involved. And he's currently writing the screenplay for Edgar Wright's Ant-Man. So he would be easily able to, capture Orci and Kurtzman's vision, being, a fellow screenwriter. So being a screenwriter, that kind of helps as a director. When you're a writer and a director, you kind of got the duality to do everything, every aspect. So I don't know. He's got little directing experience, but he's got a lot of screenwriting experience. So I mean, what do you guys think about maybe Joe Cornish being the new director?
I'd have to check out that movie that he did, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but apparently it was really good.
Well, I mean, obviously, people like for him to even be considered. I mean, it sounds like he may be a good possibility to fill in J.J. Abrams' shoes.
The only thing they're really worried about is if he's going to be able to handle this big budget with these huge Hollywood sets, because he didn't have that when he was directing his movie Attack the Block. He's going to be working on huge Hollywood sets, with a big budget, all these, high-paid actors who are, great actors. So, I mean, there's a lot of question. I mean, J.J. Abrams did it pretty well, but I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss right now, but he's got a little credentials to do it, so I don't know. But he might be the new director for Star Trek 3, whatever it may be called.
I think he would have had more of not a chance to, but like if this would have been the first Star Trek movie and he was doing it,
Yeah.
I think that would have been a lot easier to kind of get into as opposed to having two movies already
Yeah,
that have been
take
established,
over.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, but we'll see. I got to check out that movie, though.
Yeah, I'll
and
have
go
to
from
too.
there.
But I don't know. Could be interesting to maybe see somebody other than J.J. Abrams in the director's chair. But when we talk about Star Trek, we got to talk about Star Wars.
Can't have one without the other.
I really can't remember the last time we didn't have Star Wars news on our show. It's got to be a consecutive week thing going on here. But this isn't the greatest news for Episode 7 fans here.
No, they've been having some problems.
After last week, we talked about Michael Arndt, the original screenwriter for the film, got kicked to the curb.
He got the boot.
And now J.J. Abrams and former Star Wars screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan are going to pen the screenplay for Kathleen Kennedy and Disney. But and I even speculated this last week, when you kick out a screenwriter and you have new people come over and take the job of writing a screenplay, it's gonna kind of mess up your schedule a little bit. I mean, these guys are planning to film in January, a couple months from now, and I don't know if they're completely scrapping his script and starting over, or they're just kind of doctoring it, or what. But the Hollywood Reporter, which says that sources close to the project report that producer Kathleen Kennedy asked for an extension after the departure of Michael Arndt, but was denied.
Uh-oh.
The report says that Kennedy fought for a 2016 release date for the upcoming Episode 7, but Disney CEO Robert Iger is adamant that the sequel arrives in theaters in 2015 as originally announced, and that director J.J. Abrams is on the same page as Robert Iger. So the Hollywood Reporter statement said that some sources say Abrams has become autocratic in recent months, wrestling some casting control from Kennedy, but others disputed that notion, saying Abrams and Kennedy both have been involved in casting sessions. Unlike Kennedy, Abrams is said to be more in sync with Iger's desire to meet the 2015 release target, which allows zero margin for error at all costs. And zero margin for error, I mean, you already got a screenwriter off the project. That's kind of an error right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it almost sounds like Kennedy and Abrams are not on the same page.
kind of. That's the impression I'm getting, anyways. But like I said, I mean, it's not good news right now for Star Wars.
Nope, that's actually that sounds kind of bad.
But I mean, I see Kathleen Kennedy's point of view.
Well, yeah, I mean,
She
you got rid of Michael Arndt, who was your screenwriter. You kind of do want to push it back and polish up the screenplay or rewrite or whatever they're needed to do to make it better.
Yeah, I mean, she wants it to be as good as it can be. And I mean, they already announced the 2015 release year. And I mean, I know they want to keep their word and keep, Episode 7 fresh in people's minds, but, rather than push it back another year. But it's kind of more about the quality of the film rather than let's rush it out and get it out there.
It's just like Slater said in Dazed and Confused. It's about quality, not quantity, man.
Yeah. But I mean, if Abrams and the Disney CEO Robert Iger feel confident that they can release the film in time, then I'm all for it. I mean, if the director, I mean, I'm sure J.J. Abrams knows more about this film than Kathleen Kennedy because he's directing it, he's writing it, he's constantly working.
And
on
obviously, he has a vision too. I mean, I'm sure, like all his movies, like Star Trek, he's had a vision like of how it's gonna go, and I have no doubt that he's got vision for Star Wars.
He's probably got some lens flares planned. But I
Who
mean,
knows?
I mean, maybe they kept more of the script,
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't really actually get rid of it. They maybe working on it. So that's why he's like, oh, we can still do it.
Yeah. See, that's the main thing. That's what we don't know is if they completely got rid of Michael Arndt's script because I mean he was following the outline of George Lucas.
Yeah, but I mean, if you still have J.J. Abrams, who is your director, like still gun ho for 2015, then obviously he feels like it's still gonna happen. So I mean, you also gotta have to believe in your director. If he believes 2015.
Personally, I'd rather see it sooner than later.
Well, I would too, but I mean,
I don't want to wait.
I mean, I
don't think
I
other
can get
people
I
want
can
to
get
wait.
Kathleen Kennedy's point of view, but I also could see J.J. Abrams' point of view. Like he's the director, he has a vision. If he can like mentally see it happening in 2015, then let it happen.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of depends on where the screenplay's at right now, but they're planning to start rolling in January, so we'll see what happens. But definitely some bad news the past couple weeks for Star Wars.
Hopefully, it's the last we hear.
Yeah, hopefully.
Of bad news.
And hopefully we start getting some castings.
Yes.
Soon. That'll be exciting.
I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah, me
Benedict
too.
Cumberbatch
Yes.
has to be there.
Please.
Yes.
I don't think we express that enough. No, we do. Every week we talk about it.
We do.
He better be in that movie. But yeah, that is the news for this week.
Trailer of the week is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
Because me and Brian aren't the biggest X-Men fans.
Well, me personally, I'd kind of given up on the X-Men movies, but this one, I mean, the last movie I saw of X-Men was Wolverine Origins, and
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Not
Yeah.
bad. Seen the preview for this, and oh my god. I'm probably going to have to go see this.
See, what makes this interesting is, and it's important for any movie that's made, is the story.
Yes.
The story is just catching.
Well, yeah. The story is the Ultimate X-Men Assemble fights a war for the survival of the species across 2 time periods in X-Men: Days of Future Past. The characters from the original X-Men film trilogy join forces with their younger selves from X-Men First Class in an epic battle that must change the past to save our future.
Which is why they made the First Class movie.
Yes.
So, I mean...
And obviously, it's an awesome cast. You have Jennifer Lawrence, Hugh Jackman, Michael Fassbender, Ellen Page, James McAvoy, Halle Berry, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart.
And you got Peter Dinklage.
Yes, Peter Dinklage.
You gotta
gotta
mention
add
Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage. Even though he's half a man. No, he's a great actor. He
is
really
a darn good actor.
But
I'm pretty excited for this movie. I'm
Yeah.
just a huge X-Men comic book, Marvel, just anything like that, DC, and this looks just crazy.
Yeah,
just
when seeing the trailer, I was like, "Whoa, this is an interesting plot."
yeah, the plot is what really caught my attention. I mean, yeah, the last X-Men movie that I really liked, was Origins, because I mean, I liked the fact that they showed where he came from, which I liked a lot. The story's got to be good, and this one sounds damn good, and the cast is great too.
Yes.
So you liked Origins better than the Wolverine?
I didn't actually see the Wolverine.
What?
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one. I used to be when I was younger. I saw the original X-Men, X-Men 2, and I liked all those films, and I still do to some extent. But I mean, since my views have changed on film,
He's gotten classier.
yeah, I've gotten a little bit classier. I
That's
think.
what happens in this family. Like, our film tastes
we
have
become
changed.
wiser.
Yeah, our film tastes have changed over the years.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying X-Men sucks. I mean, it's good. It's okay. This one looks really good, so I'm excited about this one.
Comes out May 23rd,
And
2014.
I posted the trailer on our Twitter account
Yes.
if you
The
want to
thing
check
I
it
can't
out.
wait for in this movie are they're actually gonna have the Sentinels in it, and I don't know if you guys know who the Sentinels are, but they're these huge like robots that actually just go out after mutants and like bring them back. So, skyscraper tall,
Nice.
gigantic
nice.
robots.
And
yeah.
I saw they had the Beast in this.
He was in First Class.
I never
And
saw
he was
First
in
Class.
what was it, X3? I think he was in X3 too.
Well, they're bringing him back though.
But it's gonna be
Back
good.
Gambit.
Yeah.
No,
That's all I
don't
gotta say.
just make a new Gambit, please, because the
Oh.
one in Origins was.
I don't
kinda,
care if it's the same actor. Just bring back Gambit because that character has always been awesome.
He's the one that everybody wants to see, and then like he's never really there.
Yeah, because they don't do it or they don't do it right.
They need to do what the Avengers is doing with just have a bunch of spin-off movies of different characters, which they haven't really done a whole lot.
X-Men Origins Gambit. Dude,
Yeah.
that would probably sell right there.
Yeah, I would go. I'd be in line to see that.
They're trying to milk everything they can off of comic book movies. Why not do a bunch of just standalone movies?
Everything, yeah.
But that is our trailer for the week. Probably the
Good one.
first and only time X-Men will be our trailer of the week.
Unless another X-Men movie comes
Yeah,
out.
where it blows us away. And we're down to our new release that's coming out this Friday or Thursday if anyone decides to go see it like I will. Thor: The Dark World, which stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Tom Hiddleston, and Anthony Hopkins. And it's faced with an enemy that even Odin and Asgard cannot withstand. Thor must embark on his most perilous and personal journey yet, one that will reunite him with Jane Foster and force him to sacrifice everything to save us all. The trailer looks good.
Looks really good, yeah.
I can't wait to see this movie.
So you think you got the box office?
I do. I think I will get it this week.
All right. Well, since you feel so confident, we'll let you go first.
Alrighty. Well, I have at number 1, Thor: The Dark World, obviously. At number 2, I have Ender's Game. At number 3, Bad Grandpa. And at number 4, Las Vegas.
Well, we have
That's pretty much what I have.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
That's
have.
pretty much what.
That's pretty much what I
That's
have.
what
yeah.
everybody
That's
has
actually what I
here.
had, yeah.
That's what I have as well. All right. Well,
I can only, maybe like Freebirds might creep up, but
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
see,
was
that's what I was
See, that's
thinking
the one
too.
I'm
Like before I made my prediction, I was like, okay, I hope to God that
kids are gonna go see Thor.
yeah.
So
That's what like
Yeah.
because before I thought that I was like crap. I remember like having the same situation where an animated film popped from number 4 to number 3 the following week. But yeah, that after like thinking about that, I was like,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, kids are gonna go see Thor.
yeah.
But since we went through the predictions so quickly, let's throw some numbers around. What do you think it's gonna make opening weekend?
Oh God, I have no idea.
It's definitely gonna be over 100.
For the weekend, you think it's going to be over 100 million?
I think it might. Maybe.
Gosh.
I don't know. I have no idea.
The weekend. I'm just going to throw a number out there. It's probably going to be wrong, but let's go with 80 million. Why not?
I'm thinking somewhere.
I'll go with 80.
It's hard. I'm thinking somewhere between. I'll say 85 to 90, somewhere in that range.
And then Brian's going to say $1 and he's going to win. He'll be like, $1, please.
1 penny. No, I would have to probably say like somewhere in the 90 million,
Like $92.3 million.
something like that. Yeah.
85 to 90 is what I'm guessing.
But I mean, if I had to predict like where it would be like to beat like Iron Man 3, I'd have to say 1.3 to 1.5
Million or billion?
billion.
In a weekend?
No.
I was about to say,
Oh,
that'd
like,
be freaking crazy.
No, I'm talking about for it to beat Iron Man.
That's worldwide.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm predicting.
Well, it's gonna be a while.
Like I know it will be a while. I'm just saying like
Well, we'll see. But weekend, it's. I read someone was predicted like 185 million opening weekend. That's insane. I don't know about that.
I don't know. After I said 80, I was like, that might be a little low.
Yeah.
Like, that literally
well,
might
see,
be a little
it's
low.
hard. It's kind of hard to tell because Marvel, like, it's unpredictable.
I'm sure there's a lot of people, too, that just say, oh, Marvel? I'm just going to go see it. It's Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
they don't necessarily know the character, but they see the name, like, Marvel, and then they're just going to go.
They're on the game right now.
I mean, yeah, like we all predicted like 80, 90. I could see, like, who knows? It could be like over, like Brett said, like over 100 million.
Well, if you want a little,
It's going to be like 20 million.
the first Thor movie, on its opening weekend made 65.7. So if that gives you an idea.
Yeah, and usually Marvel movies they
They get more money.
they get more
better.
money in the sequels. So I think we might be in the right general area.
80, probably like 80 to
80
90.
to 90.
Yeah.
Because the first Iron Man movie, when that came out, made 98.6. Iron Man 2 made 128.1. And then Iron Man 3, $174.1 million. So if it has any chance of beating Iron Man, it's got to be something around there. So I might change my prediction right now.
Let's go 180. I'm changing mine from 80 to 180.
I think it's going to be over 100 now.
Yeah, after hearing that, it probably more likely will.
180? Something? I don't know. That's crazy.
It's hard to predict, but
That's insane. I don't know. That's gonna be. I'm very intrigued to see what this is gonna make.
well, that is our only release for this week.
I want to see like his perks, like his contract. Like, oh, I get 5% of all ticket sales too,
He's
on
gonna
top
make
of
bank
like,
this
yeah,
weekend.
you know what I mean.
He's
like,
gonna fat check. Yeah.
I envy you, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Seriously. Anybody involved?
with Marvel or like Star Wars.
I'm jealous of the sound operator for this movie.
Well, definitely check out Thor: The Dark World, our new release. Definitely pick up the DVDs. Grown Ups 2, White Hats Down, The Hobbit Extended Edition. Check out our trailer of the week, X-Men Days of Future Past. Vic's pick. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, don't forget that one.
I know. Time to reveal the quote. You guys need to hear it again and make your guess?
It's from that Guns N' Roses song. It is. There's a Guns N'
Yes,
Roses
but
song.
it's not from that. It's not.
Yeah, let's
Civil
hear
War?
it. Let's hear it.
What we've got here is a failure to communicate.
What we got here?
Stop.
He's looking it up.
Yeah, stop cheating. Brett, you already lost.
I'm not cheating.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not cheating.
You are.
I know what it's from.
Yeah, because you just looked it up. You're cheating.
I heard typing like.
Yes, I already knew what he was doing, so he basically disqualified himself. It's from Cool Hand Luke, which
I knew
was
it!
19th. Yeah, I'm sure you did after you looked it up. Which was made in 1967. So
Was that Paul
is
Newman? Who was that?
Yes.
Paul Newman, right? Thank you.
Good job, Brian.
I said Paul Newman.
No, Brian said.
Anyways,
No, good job, Vic.
that
Good
is
job.
our
I said-
quote. Check out Vic's pick.
Check out everything.
Yeah,
We
check
do
out everything.
teas.
Check our Twitter account, our Instagram, our Facebook, our Tumblr if that's going by now. Who knows?
It's all going. It's all Movie Talk Radio.
Yes. On that note, check out the movies, be your own critic, and that is a wrap.
And Dr. Doom says hi.
Yes, he
From
wasn't here
Liberia.
this week,
He
sadly.
wasn't here.
You have to handle business.
Thank you for listening to the Stallion Radio Network.